I just realized that my video recorder only goes for 49 minutes. Hopefully I won't need that long, but didn't know that. And I'm trying something new out. I kind of like this way, where it's dark in the background and then the light is shining on me. It accentuates my features a little bit more. So we're going to try this out for the next couple videos. And then whenever I do my weekly edit next week, I'll try to take from one of these videos. And who knows? Like, we'll see how it rolls. And I'm a little closer too because I want the mic to pick me up. That's what I noticed in my edits as well, is that the mic it picked up my voice the closer I was, of course, but I thought I could be a little farther away and still have the mic capture my voice, but it doesn't do it as well as I'd like. So I try to get a little closer. But enough of that silliness. Today, I want to talk about the main differences between humans and animals. And of course, this is my beliefs. This is the conclusions I've come to through my philosophy and trying to understand the world, and also my meditations as well, and seeing the connections we have as humans to the outer world. And essentially, the two main concepts that I believe distinguish us from animals or plants or anything that is else that is organic is, one, our imagination, and two, our ability to choose. So we'll start off with imagination. And I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on this because I think it's pretty self-evident when you look at it. The first thing is just our awareness, not only of death, of actually people dying, but our ability to imagine something afterwards, right? So this is not to say a concrete there is something afterwards or there's not something afterwards, but we as humans, our distinct ability is to be able to imagine a afterlife. So what I'll call an after death. So think of the Egyptians, right? The tombs, what we think of God, and the Christianity, Muslim, hell, heaven, the reincarnation, right? All these concepts that happen after death comes from our imagination. No animal has expressed that ability. There are they haven't built shrines to a otherworldly god. There isn't any monuments to otherworldly gods. There's no indication of a process of ritual process besides animals having buried their dead. And I think I have a good reason for that, but I'm not going to get into it here. Let's just say that's really the only indication, aside from the emotions that well up within animals whenever someone does die. It stops at the point of physical existence. I argue that you need an imagination to think of something far beyond death. You can also see it's evident in our society, right? I keep saying right. Anyways, it's evident in our society. Everything around us, our governments, our corporations, our relationships, our belief in religion, our beliefs in general, are based on our ability to imagine, our ability to conceive and imagine these entities as real, like real as in a table. But so I'm not going to explain it as well as Sapiens does. If you haven't read that book or listened to the book, go read it right now or listen to it right now. Explains this concept of imagined realities wonderfully. But I'll try to explain it here with this. So take a corporation, for example. A corporation is something that is constructed in the human mind between a bunch of different human minds so that we can organize ourselves. A corporation isn't like a table. It isn't like a mountain or rock. They don't have physical entities. If you take all of the buildings of a corporation out, let's just say Apple, take all of the buildings away, all the physical hardware. If it's all on software or all digitally, it's still a corporation. And even besides that, if you just have, well, it goes back to the beginnings of corporations. Think of Steve Jobs when he created it. Was it still Apple whenever he was working in his garage? Maybe. It depends on your definition of a corporation or a business. And to go into more of that, we need our imaginations to create these definitions as well for corporations and businesses, because we all as a collective have to agree on a specific definition of what a corporation and business is, and we all have our own thoughts and ideas on what a corporation and business should be. But what a definition does is it gives the general consensus of all those ideas and all those thoughts into one concise definition of what a corporation should be. So, even though it can be seen concrete, it really is just a general idea of what a corporation is. And what is an idea? It comes from your imagination. So these imagined realities are things that humans are inherently able to do. They're able to envision laws. We have it down on writing a paper, but essentially words are just ideas and laws are just the ideas of that we value. And since government and then we use government to implement those laws that we value onto our society. So you could see how with this picture, definitely go read Sapiens or listen to it. I'd suggest listening to it because it's long, but it's very valuable. And for your first time reading it, just soak it up, right? But that's what Sapiens talks about, and that's why our imagination distinguishes us from almost every other living organism, because we're able to construct these ideas as in our head and then play them out. We're able to form greater ideas and a consensus between these ideas with our imaginations and play them out. And that goes into my second point, is choice, the ability to choose. Now, this one isn't, I don't have a reading or a audiobook that I'm pulling this from. I'm kind of pulling from a little bit of everywhere. Because what I've noticed, especially with animals, so we always think, let's think first about distinguishing thoughts, feelings, and emotions from our reactions and our attitudes. So, in meditation, why meditation is so powerful is because it sits you, one reason is it because it sits you down. Literally, you sit down, you close your eyes, and you observe everything you cannot control. And what are those things you cannot control? Well, it's your memories, it's your thoughts, those unconscious thoughts that go across your mind that you don't even think about, your emotions. So in meditation, you meditate long enough, there might be a memory or thought that provokes a certain kind of emotion that goes like that in you. And you realize, oh wow, it's something other than myself. It's the brain having this visceral reaction to this thought or emotion, which is kind of wild. And then feelings, right? Same thing, have these their own reaction. So it's your brain, in a sense, that are controlling a lot of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and then also your instincts, right? At the end of the day, too, some of your behaviors, those ones that have been ingrained in you, the habits that have been ingrained in you. And I argue that these thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors, and instincts, they're not much different from an animal. We know with more scientific study that animals can feel pain. And if you are around a dog long enough, you could tell they express emotions as well, and feelings, and also relationship and connections with people. They have their instincts, right? They're animals. They react based on their instincts. They also have their behaviors. But what's interesting about behaviors with animals is that they themselves can't teach themselves how to behave. And that's one of the big differences between us and animals, is that we can choose how to react to all our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We can choose the attitude towards our external stimuli, so we can choose whether this will benefit us mentally. So saying, oh, I'm grateful for this, just because, even though, it might be perceived as a negative situation, or complain about it. Oh my God, why does this always happen to me? And then we can also create our own habits. We can rewire their brain and rewire our behavior. So our ability to choose and to act on ourselves is something that's you can't really see in the animal kingdom. This goes into a little bit about suicide and if animals can commit suicide. I do think animals have agency. They can move and, of course, they can move, but they can act on their instincts and behaviors in accordance with their thoughts, emotions, and feelings. So, for example, if an animal, perfect example is our family dog. She still barks at me after 4 months of living with her. But when you really get to understand why she's barking, it's out of fear. And it's not something that the dog can control. The dog is reacting to its fear based on its instincts. I feel fear, so I need to bark to protect myself and my family. And that barking is that a natural behavior of the dog that is learned in its life. And no matter what it does, it's always going to react based on those thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and with its instincts and its behavior. We can teach the dog how to do those specific behaviors, like I teach the dog how to right paw, left paw, to sit whenever they hear sit. So its external environment can change the dog, but it can't change itself. And that's what's so beautiful about humans, is that we're able to choose how we act in the world. And that's why I think animals really can't and be labeled as committing suicide, because they don't choose to die. In my definitions, it's based on their behaviors and their instincts. So if their behaviors and instincts are telling them that they need to die, then they die. What's interesting about humans is that even if our instincts and behaviors are telling us not to die, like I used this example in my last video of Reason to Live, is if you're on a bridge and you're about to jump, you still feel your heart beating very fast, your lungs beating really fast, as you are kind of freaking out too. And it's us, as in our ability to choose and break through that at our body telling us not to jump, that gives us also the ability to kill ourselves, unfortunately. But it also gives us the ability to make all this, make houses, create, be alive, to interact with people, is to shape the world around us. One other aspect of free will and the ability to choose that I find interesting is cold showers in the morning. I still can't habitually just jump into the shower. I still stand in front of the shower, and my body physically doesn't want to go. It doesn't shake or anything, but it just stands there like, no, I'm good. I don't want to go in there. And then I still can't get my mind into automatically go. I have to hype it up to get into the same energy level to get into the shower. But I do it every single morning. So it's like, you think I would create a habit and a behavior from it, but I still can't automatically do it. I still have to jump in. And that's another indication, and at least for me, of our ability for free will and to choose, is to push through the body's behaviors and instincts and its natural biological processes to say, no, I'm going in whether you like it or not. Same with David Goggins. Pain is a indicator in our body of information, of something that is going wrong and that needs to be stopped. With David Goggins' example, in Buds, he had a broken shin. But he said, screw it, I'm finishing this, as I don't care what my body thinks. If we take the animal or any other living organism, whenever they feel pain, it's a natural reaction to stop. or it's a natural reaction clashing with other natural reactions of, oh, crap. Like, I'm gonna starve if I don't go out for food, so I guess I will limp. And it's those instincts and those behaviors that are by, not someone's actual choice and them imagining and their choice in their mind and finishing out the imagined scenarios they have of it, right? Because Buds is pretty much a construction of imagination. It's imagined reality that the military has constructed to mimic what war would be like. So, really, it's being mimicry, but with our ability to imagine what war could be like, we can recreate situations that get super freaking close to it. That's what basic military training is. That's what Buds training is. And even in these situations, even if it's not actual war, we're able to say, no, I'm going to finish this, as even though I know it's not the real deal. Oh, I'm going to do it because I want to be a Navy SEAL. Oh, I want to do this because I want to be a part of the military. I want to go through this because I want to be this part of this organization, which is, like we were talking about, imagined through our general consensus. No animal can do that. At least I argue no animal can do that. So that's the two main differences. I thought, oh my god, it's 22 minutes. Wow, that's a lot. But that's the two main differences, I think, that differentiate us between animals and living organisms, is our ability to imagine and our ability to choose. And I could go more into how that provides us meaning and stuff, but I think that's a good place to stop right now. So thank you for watching. And I will see y'all tomorrow.